With Tesla recently selling a majority of their Bitcoin and ETH 2.0 right around the corner, are we about to witness the legendary prophecy? The possibility of Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin's market cap. The great war between the Ethereans and the Bitcoin maxis. I'm talking about the one and only flipping. The flippening is the possibility of Ethereum overtaking Bitcoin's market cap. There's been speculation about this for a long time. Many people believing that it's destined to happen and it's inevitable, while others believing ETH is the real one that could get dethroned by a new competitor on the block like Solana or AVAX or whatever other smart contract blockchains. Is this really possible? And if so, when could this happen? How could it happen? Why should we ultimately care? I'm going to cover that with you today and the reasonable doubts of why this could just be fairy dust, moon boy, hopium nonsense.
First and foremost, we gotta go back in time.
It's 2008, the financial crisis. Everyone's panicking. Your fellow traders at the hedge funds are pulling out their hair. Meanwhile, Jim Cramer is on CNBC and he's telling you,
No. Bear Stearns is fine. Do not take your money out. Bear Stearns is not in trouble. Don't move your money from Bear. That's just being silly.
Okay, just so you get a sense of what's causing the agony by this point, it's financials led by Bear Stearns after what essentially is a bailout from the Fed.
While this total crap show is going on, the mystery man pops out of nowhere. Satoshi Nakamoto. Satoshi Nakamoto comes around and invents Bitcoin. Now, I'm not going to ring your ear on Bitcoin, or already assuming you know the ins and outs of it. If you don't, go watch those 3-hour documentaries on YouTube. It's worth your time. Or subscribe and smash the like buttons and let me know if you want me to do a breakdown for you. I would love to, but I'm going to have to suck all the validation and psych and energy and siphon it from you like a rug pull. I'm just going to take it. If you've been around in crypto, you've most likely heard of the Bitcoin halving, which means every 4 years, Bitcoin's emissions and mining rewards are halved. This is usually seen as the culprit behind the supply shock, which then starts these epic bull runs in crypto. Over time, fewer and fewer Bitcoin will be created until it hits a max supply, and then there will no longer be any more Bitcoins that can be mined, minted, or added into the supply. Ethereum has never really had any halving effects or supply contraction mechanics until recently. With the new upgrades coming to ETH, many are anticipating a triple halving, meaning 3 Bitcoin halving events all at once for Ethereum, which in theory could make it absolutely moon. Here's how it works. In August last year, Ethereum activated the London hard fork, which would involve transaction fees being partially burned. With enough activity on the network, this could create a deflationary effect where the ETH supply could actually start to shrink. With the ETH2 merger later this year, Ethereum's emissions will be reduced by 90% because of the transition from proof of work to proof of stake. And not only that, the speed of the network would also increase, allowing up to 100,000 transactions per second, which then plays back into the London hard fork of those transaction fees burning. The incentive to save, the emissions being reduced, the higher throughput on transactions, and the deflationary effect from EIP 1559 is quite exciting. And we're not even comparing the fundamental differences between Bitcoin and ETH, as Ethereum is a virtual machine that you can build apps on, much like the iPhone and iOS being a platform in which developers can come and build applications for users. ETH is the #1 smart contract blockchain. It has the largest developer network and the highest amount of activity on a monthly basis. So when we consider Bitcoin always erupting and starting a bull run every time it halves, what do you think is going to happen if Ethereum experiences this triple halving? And then you start to consider Ethereum's superiority in terms of an ESG rating. ESG is a metric that measures a company's environmental friendliness, social initiatives, and governance factors. ETH dominates BTC in terms of its ESG rating, as ETH2 will now be carbon neutral when the merger is complete. There is an Ethereum Foundation where you can donate and create causes and initiatives. And there's a doxed figurehead Vitalik that you can actually talk to and console with. And then you consider the governance system that will be coming with proof of stake. It starts to really make sense that, damn, yeah, maybe Ethereum does stand a chance. Maybe ETH can really take the #1 spot. Is that why Tesla sold their Bitcoin? Are they secretly buying Ethereum? Hold up, sonny boy. All roses come with their thorns. Bitcoin will most likely receive a spot ETF before Ethereum does in the US. A spot ETF will basically open the floodgates to trillions of dollars from pension funds, 401ks, to just flood into BTC. And because Bitcoin's always had that first mover advantage, like Ethereum doesn't even have a futures ETF in the US, while Bitcoin does. Given that, Bitcoin will most likely get that ETF first, and if it does, it's gonna be pretty damn hard for ETH to outshine it. A lot of people question Vitalik's leadership. There's the delays with Ethereum. There's that common saying that by the time ETH2 is done, Vitalik's gonna be an old man with a big beard. Ethereum has a lot more risk. The SEC has declared Bitcoin to be a commodity, but there is discussion on whether ETH is a security or not. And when you look at Bitcoin, there is no competition. There's literally been no other crypto that can do what Bitcoin does best. But Ethereum has a lot of competitors, with Solana, AVAX, Cosmos, DOT, and ADA, to say the least. And there are also uncontrollable factors like, what if the ETH merger happens deep into a bear market? All of this flippening hype hopium will just go right down the drain. No one's gonna care because the sentiment will be so bad. So I'm not gonna say it's impossible for ETH to flip in Bitcoin. It's one of those situations where it's gotta be right place, right time, the stars align, and Ethereum gets its magic moment. I've been in crypto for several years now, and if there's anything I've learned is that anything is truly possible, both to the upside and to the downside. If there's ever been a time for Ethereum to make this happen, for it to fulfill this legendary prophecy, the time is now, or at least in the nearby future. If you enjoyed this, I would genuinely appreciate you smashing that like button and subscribing to the channel to see more content like this.